Hi, fellow traders. I am going to recap my week here, and like I said before, I'm going to be using TraderView to give me the stats and all the numbers that I really need. That's going to help me assess my trading and what's working and what's not and everything. So before we get into it, I want to give a full disclosure here on my use of TraderView. I do not have any affiliation agreement with them. Right now, I'm just using the free version, but I don't have any affiliation agreement with them, so you won't see any link to sign up on my site or anything like that. And if anything does happen to change, I'll let you know, but I don't plan for that to change. Also, TraderView is not used to verify my trades. TraderView doesn't verify trades, and you'll see in a minute. Number one, I'm not connecting it to TraderView because I was told that it was best not to allow third-party access to your account and your financial information. So that's why I stopped using Profitly, because I'm not going to have a third party looking at it anymore. So how I verify my trades, they're real time in the chat room. So if you're there, you see them happen. And obviously, if I post a trade or something that I didn't do, or I don't post a trade I did, you guys in the chat room are going to call me out on it. So I feel that's the most accurate verification you can have. You see the orders and executions live and in person as they happen. You see them either hit or miss. You see me either win or lose. I mean, it's all live right there in front of your face. And I know not everybody's there all day. Some people are there in the morning, some come in the afternoon. But there's somebody there all the time. So don't have to worry about my trades not being verified, because we're going to have members that's going to do it. So if you want to see it for yourself, just come join the community. You'll get to see it real time. TraderView, I'm using it to help me with my statistical analysis. So why are statistics important? Or what are statistics? And it's the science of collecting and analyzing data so that you can make assumptions from it, to help you, figure out what's going on. You can make a hypothesis or an assumption and then use the numbers to prove it. So to put it simply, statistics is the science of learning from data. And it's one of the things that I had in my back pocket when I first started trading that I didn't realize was a very powerful tool. Being in engineering, we rely heavily on statistics to help us analyze our designs, our hypotheses. In education, we use statistics, we use data to let us know how well something is working. And just using that same tool, bringing it into trading, has helped me really pinpoint what works, what doesn't, and really take my trading to the next level. So using statistical analysis is key for me. Now, I don't know if you've read Mark Twain, or most of you have. I know here in the United States, if you in school, you had to read it. In his autobiography, or his biography that was written early in the 1900s, he made a statement in there. Some people credit him with saying it. I think he took it from somebody else. But he said there are three kinds of lies: lies, damn lies, and statistics. Meaning the statistics are what people use to enhance a weak argument. So you could actually use statistics in a good way. And as Mark Twain put it, as he was putting it, you can use it in a bad way. You can manipulate numbers to make it say whatever you want it to say. And that's something that people have been doing for years and years and years. So if you're going to use statistics, if you're going to use your numbers, you have to be honest with yourself. So if I sat here and tried and padded my stats, that wouldn't help me get better. It'll only help me get worse. So, for this to work, you really, really have to be honest with yourself. It's also helping me with my journaling, because some of these charts I could use each day. Like I could take one day and look at each day, when was I the most profitable, during what time? When was I the least profitable? How long did I hold my winning trades? How long did I hold my losing trades? These I can add to my journal every day. That's going to help me in my reflection there, at the end of the day. So it's definitely helping me with my journaling. So again, I'm going to continue to use the free version until I maximize what the free version offers. And there's some very cool things that the paid subscriptions offer. But I'm the type person where I need to maximize my efficiency with what they offer first. And then we'll move into the paid one, just like I did with FinViz. I had to maximize what I could with the free version, and then kind of ease my way into the paid version and use some of the advanced tools that they have. So that's the smartest thing to do. You never want to bite off more than you can chew. And I could, and I kind of did it in a way. I did it with trade ideas, but there was really no other way to do it. They do have the, upgraded subscription where they use Holly and all of that. I hadn't even got to the point yet. I hadn't even used all of what trade ideas can do with the subscription I have now. So definitely not going to go any further until I do that. So that would, that's kind of would be my advice on anything you use, any tools that you use. Make sure that you maximize its efficiency with what you have first, before you actually move on to the next step. So again, the main thing I'm using TraderView for is for my statistical analysis, because it's just like being an engineer. If I didn't follow the best practices and I messed up on something, or I designed something that didn't work, there's a lot of bridges out there that deteriorated because they were design flaws. They worked for a while, but or they weren't designed to last as long as they've been in use. So we don't blame the entire field of engineering, because that might have been everything that we knew at that point. Same thing if there's a problem and the airplane crashes. It's a tragic accident, but when that happens, they're not going to ground every plane. They're going to call experts to come in, analyze what went wrong, and fix it so that it doesn't happen again. Or if there's something they find that needs to be addressed and it's going to require grounding, then that's what they'll do. But the same holds true with our trading. We've got to continue to develop, or if we continue to develop inconsistent trade plans or execute them inconsistently, there's no one better qualified than we are to identify the problem and fix it through our stats. So that's another reason why we need to be 100% honest with ourselves when we do that. So how do we use this data? We design studies that can answer the questions that we have, collect trustworthy data. We have to be honest with ourselves again. Analyze it and check your assumptions prior to the trade to what actually happened during and after the trade. What were the results? And then make sure you draw reliable conclusions with it. And as long as you use it correctly, it's going to help you continue moving forward in your trading. So let's start looking at my stats from last week. Total gain and loss 1322. This does not account for commissions or fees. You'll see that later. This is my gross. Average daily gain was 264.40. The average volume that I traded was 2660 a day. That's everything added together. That's not actually per trade. So the average winning trade 286.25. Average losing trade minus 161.33. I traded number 14 times, 8 wins, 6 losses, 57.1%. The reason we make money on 57% is due to our risk management. That's what helps us. And I was a little loose on my risk management. I took two $300 losses this week. Trying to give it room, trying to let the trade work. But it was calculated. I mean, I intended on holding it and giving it room to try and work. And so I don't really feel too bad about it, but I did do go a little bit further than I normally go. Largest gain 584. Average per share gain is 20 cents. Average trade gain is 94.43. And my average hold time for winning trade was 3 hours. This number is skewed because of the overnight trade. So it says average hold time for losing trades about 4 hours. My max wins was 4. My max losses was 2. And this just gives me an idea of, how much, what are my average wins, what are my average losses. This should be 2-to-1. My average wins should be double my average losses. And I mean, this is close. This is about $40 off. No, let me see. Once 320, yeah, about $40 off. So I mean, it's not bad. It's close to 2-to-1, but I'd rather it be, at a little bit closer or better than 2-to-1. And that's why we're able to make money on 57% accuracy. If this was closer to 1-to-1, this number would be abysmal. So this is what I'm looking at here. I'm actually looking at my average hold time for winning trades. It's about 3 hours. And I like to stay in trades. And a lot of times it's that I got in and I'm scaling out and I'll hold through a bounce because it doesn't, hit my break-even point on the last bit, and it just continues to work. I just don't add in yet. Eventually, you're going to see me start to add in. One of the questions I get a lot is, are my strategies scalable? Yeah, they absolutely are. Right now we're trading about as small as you want to trade in position size. So as the account grows, we're able to take larger position sizes. But the reason why this thing works so well is that trading a smaller account forces you to take smaller size, and it forces you to be more meticulous about the trades you take. And when you do, you develop that skill. So by the time you're out of this small account growing phase, you're starting to open up. You're starting to, widen your risk tolerance because your skill level is higher. And that's the way this thing works. So, somebody that's trading at a different level may come in and say, well, why is he trading like that? I think one guy said, I was trading scared. No, I'm trading with smaller size. And I'm trading the way a new trader would want to trade coming in. You don't want to come in swinging for the fences and taking unnecessary risk and unnecessary chances, because you can blow up before you even get started. And that's not what I want to demonstrate, and that's not what I'm trying to teach. See, this is a breakdown of each day. Now they're running P&L charts. This is another chart that's part of the other subscription, or the paid subscription. I think I could get a lot of data that will really help me as far as putting in my journal and everything. This gives you a detail. I can click on it in TraderView, and it can give me a detailed entry and exit of this trade. It's just a lot this thing can do, and it really helps me, with my journaling as well. And see, this 31.50 on Friday, that's before commissions. Afterwards, I think it ended up being a little over $60. So all of these are minus commissions. I mean, not minus commissions. They're not minus commissions. They're not, the fees and everything aren't taken off. And here's Monday. Monday was a little bit of over trading here, but 3,600 shares. I traded 5 times, but look how many tickets I had. 24 tickets. So that's pretty good. A lot of what I did got eaten up. So not a very good start. Okay, now this, for some reason, this is where I had to take out some of my position, because this is what I held overnight. But I don't know how all of this got factored in. So I still need to figure out how all of that got calculated. But I'm not going to be holding these overnight anymore. So that's not going to happen. So I look at these charts. These help me see how many trades I took on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. Monday being my most active day. Tuesday and Fridays came in second. Wednesday and Thursdays were my slowest day this week. Then this tells me performance-wise. I took the most trades on Monday, but I made the least amount of money for my green days. Friday, I took as many trades as I took on Tuesday, but ended up being a red day. The other thing I look at is how many times I trade per hour on average for this week. And then I look at my performance per hour. So between 8 and 9, I lost. Between 3 and 4, I lost. These are the 2 times that I say we have to be the most careful. Here, I shouldn't be trading at all because I'm not here. I have to leave at 3 o'clock every day to go pick my son up. So there's no reason for me to be trading. Now, sometimes if I'm in a winning position and I need to get out, I've already taken profit, I may set my stop at break even and then, take out the rest. I may do that. But, Friday was just a little blip on the radar here. Doesn't really mean anything because this is just the first month. This tells me my trade distribution, intraday. This tells me how many trades I took that lasted 2 to 5 minutes, how many 5 to 10 minutes, how many 10 to 20, and so on. And this tells me what my performance was. So all of these trades that I did and I only held less than an hour, though most of those were losing trades. So trades that I was in for longer than an hour, those were the ones that were working out, and I was able to maximize, my efficiency on those trades. So there's more data that we can use. I know there's more that this platform can give me, but right now this gives me a good indication. And looking at this, if I see this for too many days, or I see this, when I look at the weekly stats and this kind of looks the same, I know that I'm doing pretty good. I probably don't need to hold this beyond 30 minutes or so. All this should be red right here. If a trade doesn't work, I'm going to get out of it. And I don't trade these quick moving stocks. So I'm not going to have a stock that I profit on in less than 5 minutes, less than 10 minutes, maybe 10 to 20, maybe 20 to 30. I may have some. But for the most part, up in here, we're not going to, I think the red should be relegated to this. And then, I should have green after 20 minutes. But this is something that I'm going to keep my eye on. I wasn't looking before. I wasn't looking at this, and I wasn't looking at this because, Profitly didn't have this. At least not that I knew of anyway. All right, so let's look at my monthly stats. Monthly, the gross is 1896.25. Average daily gain 145.87. I trade an average of 2,400 stocks on any given day. Average winning trade 216. Average losing trade 132. Again, this is. Let's see. This is actually. See, that's 264. Yeah, this one is just over $40 too. So it kind of stayed the same. It got a little bit better. This is a little bit over $40. Our average losing trade to winning trade, but I had several bad days, so far in November. So for me, having the time that I had, this is not bad at all. 41 trades altogether. 51.2% win rate. It's almost 1-to-1. 21 wins, 20 losses. 4 max wins and 4 max losses. So, this pretty much tells me, where I need to, I need to focus on my accuracy. I need to focus on making sure that my trade plans make sense, that my potential profit makes sense based on my risk. So all of this is giving me a good, honest assessment of it. Now, the thing I don't want to do is look at this and say, man, look, this is great. $2,000 in a month. I'm gonna be at 5 by the end of December. By the beginning of December. I'm gonna be good. And I started looking at this and not really giving an honest assessment of what this actually says, and I'm not gonna get better. So using this, really helps me to get better. So for the month, my worst day was Thursday. It was like, 2-3 weeks in a row I lost on a Thursday. Again, my issue for the whole month, my losing hour is between 8 and 9 o'clock. So what does that tell me? I need to not trade pre-market, because my strategy is not doing what it should do. So now I'm not going to trade pre-market this week. I don't care how sweet the setup is. I'm not going to trade it, because this is where I see my losses. Now, will I paper trade it? Yeah. I'll write down where I'm going to enter, write down where I'm going to exit. I may even talk about it in chat. But if, what I write down makes sense and it works out, then I may look into bringing it back possibly in December. But right now, this is where I'm losing, and I'm going to have to cut this out. Here again, for the week, all my trades I got out before an hour, most of them were losers. So I need to cut this down. I need to cut it down to maybe 20 to 30 minutes at the most. I don't need to, hold a stock for an hour and then take a loss on it. That's not something I want to really get into. But you can see, holding the trade from 1 to 2 hours was pretty good. The best was 2 to 4. And then over 4 is okay too. So this helps me, really understand what's happening with my trading. Where am I doing my best work? That's what I want to know, so I can focus on those times and get better. And then I can focus on the times that I'm not doing my best work and figure out what's going wrong those days. What am I doing? Am I jumping in too early and then having to stop out real quick? Which could be the case here. So it's just a matter of analyzing this every night and on the weekends, and trying to get, a clear direction as to what I need to fix and improve on. So here's the calendar. It was $84. I don't know why I thought it was $60. But here is the calendar for November. You see, I had that $157 day on Monday, but after commissions and fees, you see how that dug into this. Solid day Tuesday, Wednesday and Thursday were pretty consistent. Had the red day Friday. Here's the total minus commissions. You can see these numbers are considerably different than what you see here, because these, like this minus 3150, it actually is, 84. And then this one, 157. After commissions, it was 67.88. So $9.90 for the week. Now for all 3 weeks total, we're right at $1,700 for all 3 weeks. That's not bad. We're on the verge of doubling the account this month, which is ideal. You know, I don't look at monetary goals. I just look at trying to double it. If we make it, great. If not, I made sure I stuck to stuck to my plan and stuck to doing things the right way. Because you can see, last week we had a good week going, and the wheels fell off. And, you know, ended the week pretty bad. So if I just count November, this is where we're at. Just counting November. This figure counts these 2 days in, the 30th and the 31st. So that's why you've got two different figures here. So we're going to be concentrating on staying consistent. I like this. This is not bad. For me, this is consistent. You know, this is consistent. You're going to have up days. You're going to have bad days. And they need to average out. And they need to come up with, you know, they need to help you be consistent. They need to be consistent in the end. So we've got, okay, 990.35. If we average that out, we're just under $200 a day. And, you know, for me, 250 is kind of the goal I like to have. It's what I like to see. I'm not going to shoot for 250 every day. It's like at the end of the week, that's kind of where I like to be. And then once we, you know, switch gears at the end of December, we hit January running, you know, we're going to be looking for some more. So you guys, if you are looking to get out and take control of your financial future, you know, if that's one of the goals you want to have going into 2018, you know, I don't have to tell you how unsure things are right now, especially with the new tax laws that they're trying to pass. You know, so we got to start thinking for ourselves. And that's why this fourth quarter was important. It's really to prepare you to get ready for 2018. So we can hit the ground running. Our foundation is built, and we're starting to build upon that foundation. You know, that's what 2018 is going to be about. So if you're ready to get started, you want to get a head start, there's no better time to start than now. Just come join us. You know, take a look at what we're doing. It's all inclusive. It's all inclusive. You join the chat room, you get everything. It's just that simple. All right, guys. So everybody have a great weekend. A great rest of the weekend. Probably going to be the rest of the night for most of us. And I will see you bright and early tomorrow morning.